So I'm going to make this video for people who are thinking about doing an 8-speed swap in their Jeep JK with the 3.6. So I have about 2,000 miles on it since I completed it, and it's been fantastic. It's like a new Jeep, honestly. Like, if you've driven a newer Jeep with the 8-speed, this drives very similar to the newer Jeeps now. I'm just going to show you what it kind of looks like. So, center console, this is a 3D printed bezel. There's a guy, I believe his channel name is Willie G-Man, I believe it is, and he printed this out for me, and it fits the JL shifter boot, the JL shift indicator, and this is not a JL shifter though inside. This is a Grand Cherokee shifter. And went ahead and added a separate shift indicator so I can put it in drive. I don't know why the frame rate's making the screen on it look weird, but I'm in drive. If I put it in manual mode, I'll show what gear I'm in, which is really nice because it doesn't show it on my dash. So it shows that I'm in drive, reverse, neutral, and park. But if I go ahead and go to manual mode, it doesn't show it on the dash. So I wanted to know what gear I'm in when I'm driving, if I want it in manual mode, especially for off-road. Another cool feature this added, you get the tranny temp. So it shows transmission temp like factory, which is really nice to be able to monitor that. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a little drive, and you can see how it shifts. I mean, it drives like a factory vehicle. It is super nice. This vehicle was originally a manual 6-speed manual transmission. Anyone who's aware, the Jeep JKs with the 6-speed manuals are not very, it's a decent transmission, but it's a Mercedes transmission, and they're not worth fixing in my opinion, because the output bearings in them go out, and also your shifter cage, it doesn't use a typical shift forks. It uses this giant prosthetic leg looking shifter cage, and they have plastic bushings in it, and they go out, you know, within 60,000 miles. Especially depending on how you drive it. If you try to hot rod it around, they wear out pretty fast. So 40 miles an hour, you're at like, you know, 1500 RPM, and it's in 7th gear. It drives really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. Another cool feature about this, if I put this in manual mode and set it to a gear, in most vehicles, if you floor it, it'll still downshift. This won't shift. So I'm floored right now, but I'm in 6th gear and it didn't downshift. Now if I were to put that back in regular you know, mode, it would downshift and drive like normal. So right now I'm just cruising at 40, and you gotta floor it, downshifts, and it goes. I mean, it's really cool, this setup. It's not quite factory integration, so it uses a separate PCS controller that transmits data from the ECU to the TCM inside the transmission, the data that it needs. So some of the data is like throttle position, speed, RPM, and I think there's a couple other things when I was in there looking at the programming, but it doesn't really need a whole lot of information. When you do this, I did it through Jeep Speed Shop, but you can also like buy the wiring harness kit through Sound German Engineering, and it includes a second OBD port, OBD2 port. So now you mount basically a second port that allows you to plug into that transmission and, you know, diagnose it if you're having issues. Also hoping I can do this. I hope you can load custom programming with HP tuners to the transmission. I don't see why not, but that's something I am going to try. But anyone that's thinking about doing an 8-speed swap in your Jeep JK with 3.6 liter, I highly recommend it. I used a 850 RE, I believe it was out of a 2021 Ram 1500 with the V6, and they're known to be super reliable. And from some research I did, they use them in a lot of BMWs, a lot of pickups. And the 850 RE is basically an 8HP 50, which is the baby version of the 8HP 70, which is what's in, you know, like the Ram pickups, the V8 Jeep is what they use it in as well. So sorry about the wind noise, but I'm currently on the highway doing about 68. I'm just over 2,000 RPMs. So this Jeep has 37s, 513 gears, and now, like before, at 70 miles an hour, I was at like 2,700 RPM. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up to speed, and at 80 miles an hour, RPM will sit at like, you know, 2,600, which is really nice. It makes a big difference. Makes it cruise, you know, a lot better than it did before. You're not screaming going down the highway. So we're doing 78. We're about 2,500 RPM. Go ahead and put in manual mode. So we're in 7th gear. Go ahead and shift it to 8th. We're in 8th gear. Yeah, this is really nice. So there's not a whole lot to show you on the outside, but I can show you where I mounted the transmission cooler, obviously on the front. So just went ahead and Mishimoto thermostat and cooler. Use the thermostat to try to get that transmission up to operating temp as soon as possible. That way it's not running cold all the time. And that's about it. If anyone has questions, I don't know how popular this video or how many people will see this video, but if you're interested, feel free to reach out, leave a comment, and I'll definitely respond. I can do a build sheet for you as well. Another good resource, if you're interested, would be Jeep Speed Shop. They're the ones who do the kit and have a lot of instruction videos on how to do this swap. But that's all I got.